What is shaking, everyone? You know, there's nothing quite like getting the Platinum Trophy. Sure, just beating a game is great and all, but hearing that pop just brings another level of satisfaction that is just indescribable.
What do you mean by that?
2026 has had many games come out this year that I am extremely excited to play, and one of those is High on Life 2. However, I figured if I'm ever going to play the sequel, then it's a perfect time to get the Platinum in. Released in 2022, originally for Xbox and the PC, developed by Squanch Games, and then released 1 year later in 2023 for the PS4 and PS5, which means we can get the plat.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Also, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, as it does help me out a bunch. Now before we dive in, I want to introduce something new to the channel. Going forward, every Platinum video is going to have a score. Here's how that works. So let me quickly explain how I use my Platinums. I use a 4-tier system. I have my must-have Platinums. The game is great, the Platinum is great, just go for it, everything's amazing. There's Platinum worthy, basically something's holding it back, whether it's the trophy list or the game itself. So basically you should just kind of decide for yourself if it's worth it. Hopefully my video helps you out with that. Play it casually. It's a solid game, but probably the list is not the greatest. And so you should probably just play the game, but not go for the Platinum. And then there's skip it. Don't bother with either. The game's not good. The list sucks. Just move on.
Actually, how dare you say my favorite game isn't a must-have Platinum? This rating system is completely subjective and frankly, irresponsible.
That's great, bud. I don't really care. Honestly, it's just what I think, and there's plenty of other opinions you can check out. Hopefully, you can respect that and we can move on. Anyway, let's get onto it. All right, cool. So the game starts here with Buck Thunder 2, Xenoslaughter. Let's start a game. All right, new game here. Select my difficulty. Oh, well, difficulty isn't really difficulty isn't really a trophy here, so I always go with just the default normal settings unless I have to get a hard trophy. So that sounds good to me.
You mean as a YouTuber, you're not gonna do the hardest difficulty? Unsubscribed right now.
Yeah, no, I don't actually just go for the hardest difficulty just for the sake of it, unless I really love the game. So basically, unless there's a trophy tied to it, I just do the normal difficulty, or whatever difficulty that the devs intended. So anyways, we're getting into the game now. And the game starts us off playing a boomer shooter, where this is basically our tutorial. And as we're playing, we're getting interrupted by our degenerate sister. And she's offering us some candy. Yeah, candy. But basically, this is how the game is telling us how to choose our character. She tells us that our parents are going out of town. We go downstairs, and on the fridge, they left us a note. Basically, I'm pretty sure this is our mom pretty much telling us that she's kind of tired of our sister.
You know, all you do, you keep smoking weed.
We go outside and we witness the G3 cartel, most important, the main bad guy, Garmantuous, invading Earth. Right in broad daylight, they murder an alien in the middle of the street. But, conveniently, that's where we meet our partner in crime, Kenny. Kenny tells us to steal a warp drive at the top of the G3 base down the street. So, of course, we're going to listen to a talking gun. Why wouldn't you?
You are one pathetic loser.
We get the drive, and we go back to our kitchen and get teleported to a brand new planet known as Blim. So then now Kenny tells us we need to go find a legendary bounty hunter known as Gene Zaruthian, only to find out that this dude is completely washed and basically useless. But he kind of ends up becoming one of my favorite characters. But Gene convinces us that he can be a mentor for us and offers us his suit, and he tells us he'll get us all set up in our house. This is essentially going to be the main format of the game, where we will travel through that main portal and do some bounty hunts in order to locate Garmantuous. Once we've done all that, Gene wants us to make sure we're actually ready for the task, and he sends us on a side mission to go get his knife called Knifey. It's over in the slums, and so we head out and we have to now go and start our new experience. I had no idea that this was the way the game was going to start, but it started off with a bang, and this is where we got our first trophy.
Well, look what we got here. Fresh meat. Hey there, fresh meat. Welcome to the slums, fresh meat.
Oh boy, here we go. Fucking kid.
What's wrong, Fresh Meat? You scared of a little kid? Yeah, I'm a little kid. Look at me. Look at me. You're scared of me? Oh, I'm scary. Not. Well, maybe I am. Look at me. I'm scary.
No, we just want to get past.
Come on. Let's see what you got, Fresh Meat. If you can't handle me, how are you going to deal with 9 Torgs goons?
Don't let him get to you.
Look at Fresh Meat getting flustered by a little kid.
Just ignore him.
That suit looks dumb. You look like a fucking dumb idiot. Does that make you mad? I bet it pisses you off. I bet you're
Whoa,
pissing.
whoa, what are you doing? Come on, he's just a kid. Don't shoot him.
Oh, you don't want to shoot me just because you're.
I am not shooting a kid.
Go ahead. Do it. Shoot me, Fresh Meat. Shoot me. See what happens. You shot me. I'm dead.
All right, there. Are you happy now? Well, I didn't think we'd be allowed to kill him. Normally, killing children in games isn't allowed, but he's dead. We killed this kid. Are you happy now? We killed a kid. A kid is dead now. There goes our E for everybody rating.
The good news about that is that a little later we ran into the kid's mom, and she basically tells us that he deserved it and that it turns out he wasn't even a kid. He was basically in his 30s. So there's nothing to feel too bad about there. The game finally introduces some of the action, and in that process we get to a point later. We unlocked our next trophy for balancing an enemy in the air. We finally get to the location where Knifey is located, and there are some guys selling him, and so we pretend to be the buyers. They tell him we can test him out, so we did. Well, I don't think they expected us to test him out this way, but hey, we got the trophy. Knifey's a savage. Dude is completely unhinged and easily one of my favorite characters in the game. We progress forward and we get to our first real boss, 9 Torg. The fight itself was pretty fun, and I can say that's true for all the boss fights in this game. Killing her leads to our next trophy. Back at the house, we show Gene that we actually can handle ourselves as bounty hunters. But before we enter, Knifey tells us that he has some unfinished business, and we have our first missable trophy. He asks us when the moment presents itself to let him stab Gene. So naturally, we do.
Stab him.
What the fuck? You have to do everything the fucking UI tells you to do? Yeah.
Speaking of missable trophies, we have a few of those in this game. One of which is we have this butt-faced kid that we have to give him a drum. We have to also do a check-in with his dad in the middle of the game, and then at the very end, he rises to fame, and because of that, we get a trophy at the end. There will be others, but we'll get to them when we get there. Alright, let's now jump into the main part of the game. Now that we have access to the Bounty 5000 portal, our first G3 bounty is Douglas. The portal takes us through a barren land so that we can get to a place called Old Town, since that is the best route to get to him. Going through there, we get into a G3 controlled location known as Dregtown. We eventually get to a point where we can't get any further, so we need to blend in, and we meet this goop guy. He says that he can drop some goop on us.
What did he say?
The goop ends up working as a good form of camouflage, and we get through. Later on, we eventually meet a little squid guy, Dr. Joopy. He tells us that Douglas kidnapped his family and needs our help. The next stretch has us solving puzzles, fighting waves of enemies, and slowly realizing something feels off. We finally reach Douglas, and yeah, Dr. Joopy was Douglas the whole time. Naturally, that leads to straight into another boss fight. And honestly, this one was a blast. After killing Douglas, we also get our second gun, Squeezy. Squeezy completely changes combat too. Her freeze ability lets you lock objects and enemies in place and sets up some really satisfying combos. Honestly, she kind of reminds me of the Halo Needler. With Douglas handled, it was time for our next target, Krubus. We now are in the land of Zephyr, and we run into these little teddy bear looking aliens known as Moplets. Ends up they hate Krubus also, and it works out nicely. They tell us to head to the mines so we can find the location of Krubus. While on our way there, we encounter our next missable trophy. We approach a G3 Administrative Services building, and we need to make sure that we have Squeezy as our active gun during this interaction. Squeezy immediately takes over and turns the whole office into an alien Love Island Hunger Games.
Just tell us what you want us to do, ma'am.
Kiss each other on the mouths.
What the fuck? You want us to kiss each other?
Yeah, on the fucking mouths. With tongues.
I actually can't do this because I'm married.
That's a shame. I always thought you were really hot.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god, whoa, do you mean it?
Of course. Look at you. Have you even seen your ass?
You have a perfect ass, Dimitri.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I have a very perfect ass.
Now, come over here. enough. Really hot stuff, but enough. Now, what's next? Everyone fight each other.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Fine. Oh, that really hurt.
Hey, whoa, what are you doing? You can't just hit them like that.
Get your hands off of me. Okay, how was that?
Very good. Thank you. Now, let's see. What's next? Fire each other.
What? I need this job. Too bad you're fired. Pack your shit and get out.
You're fired too. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Wait, guys, you don't have to fire each other. We don't have to do everything she says. Yeah, we do. If we don't do it, she'll fire us. Oh, right. You're fired. Pack your shit and get out.
All right, sick. That was fun. Now, let's see if we can find out where Krubis is.
While playing the game, we naturally unlocked a weapon-based trophy, which is popping off the eyes of these little grunts, and that is exactly what happened here. Shortly after, we reached Krubis, another fun boss battle that was engaging and kept me entertained. Killing Krubis gave us another trophy. And for defeating Krubis, we got our third gun, Gus.
Oh God, this feels amazing. You have no idea. Oh God, I'm in heaven right now. Oh, you should see this. Oh, ripping through his grill tendons like they're butter. Oh, fuck. Oh, I was really getting my gloves off there, wasn't I? Sorry about that. Hey, bud.
We head back home and Gene starts to fill us in on our next steps. And we are asked to meet with a guy named Klug, who has been watching everything happen, and now he wants in on taking down the G3 too. So we decide to meet with this chicken nugget looking dude. In meeting with him, he gives us a device that lets us rescue humans that we find, and it teleports them to safety. The whole situation felt suspicious immediately. This random guy suddenly wants to help us save humanity? Yeah, no shot. Even Kenny finds it sus. So we decide to take the device and head back home. Gene tells us to head back to the pawn shop and get us a jetpack. Except when we get there, the guy says the jetpack isn't ready and we gotta come back in a couple days. So we figure to go back home and let Gene know. But on the way home, we run into Stan, who is selling his cum.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And I don't know if we should accept this. But what do you mean we don't accept it? We do it for the love of the game. We do it for the grind. We do it for the trophy. So of course we accepted it. You don't think we're gonna get it? Of course we do. Anyway, we head back home, get some sleep. When we wake up, we are now on the roof and we have the jetpack equipped and got ourselves another trophy. Now, we are strapped for flight. We are on to our next bounty, Dr. Giblets. This leads us through a detective case interviewing various NPCs, and as we are trying to get info, we get kicked out. But before we do, we meet some secret agent looking dudes. But it works out though, because we find a dead body that happens to have some mag boots that are useful to us, and in the process giving us another trophy.
Trampled to death?
Yeah. My friend Davy Glutes got trampled in the rush. Pretty sad, right? One moment he was there, next he's gone. Squashed.
Listen, I hate to suggest this, but I think we might need to, borrow that dead guy's mag boots, just to climb out of here.
So we head back home with our new boots, and we end up meeting with those two dudes telling us they work for Klug and that he wants to meet up. So we go and meet with Klug, and he gives us the coordinates of Dr. Giblets, and we head off to his base. We get to his base, and our AI prompts us to do some detective work to investigate his base to find out where Dr. Giblets is at. All to just find out that the AI knew where he was the whole time, and ends up he was on the roof. So we go up there, and we open the door, scare him half to death, and the dude immediately falls off a ladder and dies. So we get a trophy for the bounty of the hardest boss.
I think that's Dr. Giblets. That was very anticlimactic, but I'm not complaining.
Jesus Christ, that was the easiest one yet. All right, let me at him.
Hey, who cares? We take those sometimes. Anything that gets us closer to the platinum, I'm all for it. But that wasn't it. After we knife him up, There's a trap door, and we still have to fight off a wave of enemies, so this takes place as the boss fight. This is probably the only one of the boss fights in the game that I found boring. After that, we rescue a gun who has been busted and bring him to Jean to fix. Back home, things start getting weird between Jean and our sister. She's starting to date this alien named Twig and apparently wants him moving into the house. Jean hates the idea. Our sister absolutely does not care. The whole house is awkward now. To escape the awkwardness, we step outside for a minute, and as we do, we take a look up at the screen and we see Buttface. I mean Globo, that one kid we gave the drum to, and we pop another Missable trophy.
Oh my god, are you reading those subtitles? Holy shit, all those people laughing at him because his farts? You know, who knew what he was saying? I mean, this is touch.
We focus back up, head home, and get back to our bounties. Our next bounty is the Skrendel Bros. So we decide to head back to where the Moplets were at. A Moplet points us in the direction of Skrendel Labs, and while making our way there, we get our next gun, Creature, and better yet, our next trophy. Creature's a weird gun. You're basically launching smaller versions of him, and they just go attack everything automatically. They also go through small holes and open locked areas for you. We eventually get to the boss fight and face the Skrendel Bros. Weirdly enough, this ended up being the hardest boss fight in the game for me, where I actually died once, but otherwise it was a pretty straightforward fight, but definitely unique and a lot of fun. Once defeated, we unlock another trophy. Back home, things start getting even more weird. Our sister and her boyfriend Twig have gone missing. Kenny asks us if we can go solo on this mission and asks us to leave the other guns for this. Kenny, like a true American, says,
All right, bounty hunter, let's head to Applebee's and let's find your sister.
We get to Applebee's and Kenny finally opens up and admits he's the reason his planet got destroyed in the first place. He's been carrying that guilt the whole game. At the end, we notice my sister and Twig outside and we decide to head out. But just before we go, we have the choice to pay the bill or to dine and dash, because nothing hurts more than willingly pay for Applebee's. As we finish paying, our sister and Tweed get away and the G3 are invading. We head back home and see that all of Brim is being completely invaded by Garmantuous. So once we get in, Jean tells us that we gotta get out of here. So we decide to teleport ourselves somewhere we know that the G3 wouldn't find us since they already had obliterated the area, and that was Gatlas, the planet that Kenny was from. We figure out what our next plans are, but Kenny wants to take a moment to confess what he had done to the other guns. As you can expect, the guns aren't really happy about it. So we move forward to our last major bounty, and that was to hunt down Nipulon. In order to get there, we needed to go through the old path of getting to Old Town. On our way there, I saw a moment to use the warp discs, and without realizing that was tied to a trophy, I got one for spawning in a movie theater. Then we make our way into Nipulon's lounge, where we basically have to go undercover to get close to him. This entire section feels like a fever dream. Humans being used by aliens to get high in a weird lounge atmosphere. We eventually blow our cover as Kenny and I have seen enough. We blast our way through waves of enemies and get to Nipulon's office. This is where we encounter arguably the best boss battle in the game. He drugs us and suddenly everything turns into a full hallucination. Overall, the fight is unique in so many ways and was just a trip experience. Mid-fight, Nipulon decides to gift us a free trophy. Just not the kind we were expecting.
Need some motivation to keep going? How about an award? Here, take this one that says you spent all your in-game playtime at an alien strip club. Oh, that's permanent, by the way. Everyone on your friends list can see that forever now.
Shortly after, we defeat Nipulon and get our last bounty boss trophy.
Holy shit, okay, we're back. I think we're back. That was a lot.
Afterwards, we head home and get the news that Jean had repaired Let's Do It. And in doing so, we got another trophy.
All right, let's do it. We got this.
Let's do it.
So it's time to face Garmantuous and head back to Earth. This was also an opportunity to give Let's Do It a test drive. Let's Do It absolutely melts everything in sight. We were having so much fun with him that mid-fight our AI suit says goodbye, and I hardly even noticed him, just that randomly the trophy popped, and that's the only reason why. We blast our way through and arrive to where our home used to be and face Garmantuous. Let's Do It for the most part just absolutely owns him throughout the fight. So as long as you can just dodge his attacks, which honestly wasn't that hard to do, but Garmantuous does have a second phase and he tells us something in the process.
Fuck, he's got your parents.
Hey, it's me, Jack Black.
Hi, I'm Susan Sarandon. Do we know you?
Huh? Are those your parents?
Parents? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't think the bounty hunter even knows these people.
Yeah, we don't.
But it's so nice to meet you.
So what? You don't love these two? Because every human I asked said they loved them.
Well, yeah, everyone loves us.
I'm sorry, bounty hunter. I'm sure your parents are still out there somewhere, you know? They're alive. I can feel it.
Okay, bounty hunter. Enough fucking around. Let's finish this.
So of course, we gotta fight him again, and the second phase is no different. We take care of business and get a trophy for defeating Garmantuous.
What now? The bomb didn't work.
So the bomb inside Garmantuous never detonated, and so Kenny volunteers to go inside him to be the hero and make sure the bomb goes off. But we have one last missable trophy, and here we have to make sure we don't sacrifice Kenny and use any other gun. So what better gun to use than the one that has always been down for fun?
Let's do it.
Oh my god, it was a huge sacrifice, but we did it.
The good news is that even though he was chosen as a sacrifice, it ends up that Let's Do It survived. And after carrying Stan's load the whole game, we finally got our trophy. So the game was completed, and all that was left was the cleanup. We only had 6 trophies left before going to the platinum. First was the sequel step stuff. We grabbed a key card from Klug's office and used it to get into his hidden room at the top of the human rescue tower. Inside, there's basically a tease for where the story goes
Okay, it's
next.
open. Let's see where this goes. Are you getting weird, uneasy kind of vibes like I am?
Actually, this was a pretty cool little discovery. Then we cleaned up the trading cards, which was one of the collectibles in the game. They're scattered all over the game, and we'd already found most of them just from naturally exploring through the playthrough. So at this point, it was just really tracking down the last few that we missed. Next up was the warp bases. Same kind of thing as the movie theater. We just needed to go back and put every other warp disk and explore a little on each one. Just place every warp disk and explore all the little locations tied to them. Every single one is weird in its own way, which honestly feels very on brand for this game. After that came the Luglock's chest cleanup, basically the game's versions of collectible item boxes. Knifey stabs them open for you. We already grabbed a ton of them naturally throughout the story, so cleanup was pretty easy here. But then we got to what was easily the most annoying trophy for the entire platinum. There's this random commercial that has to play on the TV in your house. It's completely random. All you can really do is keep walking in and out of the house over and over until it finally appears. I'm honestly surprised that it never popped up during my playthrough. So I purposely had to keep reloading the room to get this RNG commercial to play. And when it does, it's this little gray robot counting down for 8 straight minutes. That's it. And yes, you have to sit there and watch the entire thing. We sat there and watched the entire thing.
Hey there, human fans. I'm Humandor the Human, and today we're watching another ultra-scary human flick.
Then finally, we wrapped up the Bounty Hunter forums, which basically is a bunch of combat challenges. Kill enough of certain type of enemies, use specific attacks, stuff like that. We already done most of them naturally, but grinding out the last few after finishing everything else definitely dragged a little. Nothing horrible, just the feeling of running around a game you've already done with trying to hit random kill numbers felt kind of empty. Eventually though, the final challenge popped, and finally, Platinum Trophy was ours. So is High on Life worth playing in 2026? Yeah, I think it is. I'm giving this one a platinum worthy. At the end of the day, this game is just plain fun. The guns all feel unique, the combat stays fresh way longer than I expected it to, and the boss fights honestly deserve a lot of credit too, because almost every single one does something different. And for the platinum itself, it's honestly pretty manageable. No brutal grind, no difficult trophies, nothing insanely demanding. Just need to keep an eye on the missable trophies, but they're not that hard so long as you know about them going in. Really, it just comes down to whether the humor clicks for you, because this game fully commits to the bit the entire time. If the comedy lands, you're probably going to have a great time from start to finish, and the platinum is just sitting there waiting for you. If the humor doesn't work for you though, the gameplay alone probably isn't going to be enough to carry it. So this one really is going to depend on the person, but if it sounds like your kind of game, yeah, go get the platinum. Thanks for watching everyone. Please be sure to like and subscribe subscribe as it helps me grow as a channel. Also, comment down below games you'd like to see on this channel. Another platinum in the books, and as always, we're along for the ride.